Today we continue with our class Laws of Yom Tov, and we start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and today's topic is verbal remembrance. And it says a method through which one can motivate himself to avoid the sin of Lashon Hara in the bitter punishment it alludes to in juxtaposition of the two verses in the Torah. Okay. Be aware of tzaras affliction, to be very careful and to act according to everything that the Kohanim, the Leviim shall teach you, as I have commanded them. You shall be careful to perform. Very. Okay, so commentaries say that this verse prohibits any attempt to cut away the physical symptoms of tzaras. Okay, remember what HaShem, your God, did to Miriam on the way when you live in Egypt. This is the verse expounded abundance in different days. Okay, so now, like as we always say, it's good to know the laws, but how can I be motivated to abide by them? Right, that's a different story. To keep them, right? As Rabbi Reuben always says, Shlita, that he will remember the punishment. Right, that's it's not his invention. It's a Torah. That's a Torah mode of teaching people. That's what people understand. People understand punishments. Okay, and continue. So they give us two quotes. Okay, one is about not to destroy the signs of affliction, and second one, remember what HaShem did to Miriam. Continue. Sefer expounds, remember what HaShem your God did to Miriam. This cannot mean to remember in one's heart. For the previous verse says, be aware of the affliction. Already teaches the source of remembrance as Sefer expounds. This verse instructs us to always be aware of the sin of Lashon Hara. So Miriam, but whatever the same laws apply to us today. For which tzaras is a punishment. Okay, so remember the Lashon Hara, right? There's a sin. And the punishment is outcome is this tzaras. What then does remember imply? That we remind ourselves of this Miriam punishment verbally. So it's one of the things that we read after Shacharis, if you have time. I don't know how many people read it. I don't know, we're trying to do basics. Okay, but it's proper to read. It's in all of the Sederim. Right, it's almost a dream. For in Ashkenazi Siddur it's 6, and Sephardi it's 10. Okay, very interesting. Right, I mean 6 as from common, and then 4 they added. Okay, it's very interesting. Continue. Regarding the positive commandments, the Torah states that you may remember what commandments of HaShem are performed and perform them. Okay. In the same way, the verbal remembrance of severity of Lashon Hara is a prime way to avoid the transgression. When a person says out loud when he or she reminds themselves, that is going to be the consequence. And I think it's not only in this case, in case of Lashon Hara, but with every avera. Like a person would fight with herself. And just tell, look, why do I need it? Like talk to yourself. Why do you need it? You know, all the consequences that can come out of this whatever I am about to do, and talk yourself out of it. Right? But it must be not in the conscious, but out loud. Okay. One may wonder, how is it that the people recite the verse, remember what HaShem, your God, did to Miriam on the way when they were living in Egypt each morning, and yet they speak Lashon Hara, right? That's the most common, right? They say, what is it? Remember what HaShem your God did to Miriam, and they like after that speak Haloshon. It actually was a question yesterday, I think. If you can say blessing on any other in any language, so many people they do not understand Hebrew or just simple like separate words, and like sometimes sentences are so complicated, and even you understand everything, and you read Rashi as explanation, and Rashi said that's exactly like opposite, not opposite, but it's like different from what you thought, from the same simple meaning. You understand? That's why all these things when you learn, you must understand. When you pray, you're not obligated to understand. I mean, after the fact, if you know like basic meaning what you said, there is no problem, right? It is accepted and everything. But in learning, if you did not understand what you learn, it's not accepted. Okay. So the question, how come they read this verse and continue to speak Lashon Hara? Moreover, there are individuals who commit the sin immediately after reciting the verse. Unfortunately. Right? 4:11, 1 second, there is continuation. Continuation. 1 second. Okay, 4:11. 3:05. And says, the answer to this is obvious. The Torah states, for it's not an empty thing for you. Dvarim 32:47. Midrashically, this means that the Torah is not heaven forfeit, empty. If you find to be unfulfilling, then the failure stems from you. Right? The fault is in you, not in the Torah. So I know some people, they say it's a typo. So why is it typo? Like everything for that person, not everything, but many times that person says it's a bad English. I said, why it's a bad English? Maybe you don't understand. Like why is it like sometimes when they translate like even Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Even Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, like when you read in plus art scroll, the one sentence can be 7 lines. Okay, just because there's 7 lines, many commas, semicolons, does not mean that it's something wrong with that. It's something wrong is always with us. Okay, we stop here. Any questions on what you say?
Rabbi?
Yes, go ahead, please.
So since these days we don't have the temple, and therefore we don't have Sarah because of this anymore. So do we get any type of affection on the skin for speaking Lashon Hara, or do we deal with any different consequences?
Yeah, it's different consequences. So just to clarify this, what you said. We don't have this tzaras today because it is impossible to get rid of it, right? So one of the last step of purification, you have to go to the temple, you have to bring sacrifice, and the Kohen has to do it in the temple. That's it. So if you if there is no way out, right? So that's why HaShem canceled it. I mean, not cancel. Chas v'shalom, HaShem never canceled. He said. The story is forever. Some chabadniks says it's canceled, but we know it's not. It's only postponed until there is circumstances available when we can complete it, do the mitzvah completely. Same with Nazir, right? Somebody wants to be a Nazir, so he's not allowed. If person says the formula, and I heard, I don't know personally, but I heard some people said the formula and they become Nazir for how long? For forever, right? In olden days, when we had temple, if somebody accepted to be a Nazir, man or woman, they would be for 30 days, right? It's a standard, right? Or they can specify any other duration of time. So, but today, even doesn't matter what you specify, you cannot get out of that situation. You understand? So it is postponed. Nothing is cancelled. Always correct when people say it's cancelled. That does not apply. It's applied every time, right? It's applied, but we cannot fulfill it because of our many sins. And that's how Holy Chafetz Chaim always writes. Because not only him, but our great sages, because of our holy sins, because of our many sins, and etc. etc. Okay. Anything else? What we said?
Take it away.
You're welcome. Very good. So I have a very interesting surprise for you guys. So I came 10 minutes ago, and when I was coming next to my house, so I met a guy with delivery. So I did not know, I knew that it was supposed to be today. So I got the book that I always wanted to get, and BeEzrat HaShem, maybe we expand our class a little, maybe 15 minutes. We're going to it from another book. Okay. So the guy was very, very surprised. I said, my address, are you looking for me because it's dark? He said, yeah, how do you know? Yeah, it's me. It's unbelievable. It's raining outside. There's no place, like everything like wet. If he would put it on the ground, it would get wet. So he handed to me. Baruch HaShem. All right. So we continue with laws of Yom Tov, and we're in chapter number 25. And 25, and our topic, tying and untying knots. Okay. What is it? Kasher umatir. Okay. Tying knots, kasher, and untying, matir. Two of 39 avos milachas forbidden on Shabbos. So those two, before we continue, two separate milachas. Tying is one thing, and untying is different. So, right? So if a person tied and untied for that something is forbidden, transgress to prohibitions. This melacha is similarly forbidden on Yom Tov. The criteria defining what is considered not have been set forth in details Shabbos Home, Volume 1, Chapter 13 and 14. I mean, we're going to try to expand what it says here. Okay. Here we merely provide brief synopsis of the laws, discuss some common applications. So just introduction, because I mean he goes to directly to practical things. So tying or knot, or what's the definition of knot, right? It could be like two separate pieces of rope or whatever material you tie together, right? Or it could be in one piece, but you tie two sides, right? Or it could be. One second, do I have a back here or something? I have a back. One second. Let me get that back quickly. Or it could be if you have this back and you tie like this, and you make a knot. So it's for sure it is forbidden knot. So all of this knot, that doesn't matter how you tie it. If you look at the back, so you have two ends, you tie it like this, right? Double knot, that's permanent knot. So what is forbidden? Any permanent knot. So double knot, it's a permanent knot. The Gemara actually says about this professional knot. So professional knot, whatever the seamen know how to tie it, like other fishermen, like when they do these nets, they like a special knot. So basically, it's not unless you know how to undo it. It's not so simple to undo it. Right, and then repeat the knot is also not such an easy thing. So what is prohibited? Permanent, right? Two categories: permanent and professional. So today, since we do not know what is a professional is, so we say everything that would not, like by default, would not undo by itself. So what does it mean? If you tie one knot, most likely it's going to undo by itself, like after some time, right? But if you do knot and a bow, it's not going to undo by itself, right? But it's easily undone when you pull one string, but only if it's a temporary. Temporary means that you tie your shoelaces. Okay. So that's okay. Let's start reading. If I remember other details, we're going to add. So part number 1: forbidden knots. Following knots are forbidden to be tied or untied for Yom Tov. A tight double knot, regardless how long it will remain intact. So tight double knot meaning what? That it's not going to be undone by itself. That's the logic. Okay. Number 2: tight single knot in the single strand of rope, like in the middle of the rope. You do even single knot. It's not going to undone by itself. Or as a pliable material. So I like a bag, like I show you with a bag. Regardless how long it's going to remain intact. So because it's not going to undone by itself, so that's forbidden. So many people use this knot, around the single strand of strand in a bag for food packages. So you have a bread or something, or whatever, pitas, whatever you have, right? So be careful. So I always tell people, try and even on a weekday, don't tie any knots. You just bend over. So I mean, if you want to preserve freshness, just bend over and make it. Don't tie or use some kind of clips. So I understand it's easier to make a knot, but the thing is, you're going to forget. Like everybody forgets, and you're going to forget as well, and you're going to do it on Shabbos. And guess what? After that, you would not be allowed to open, so you would need to destroy the whole package. Who needs that? Okay. Number 3: single knot with a bow, right? Like we do on shoelaces, or with the end of the rope tackled in. That's the big one. So stop here. So meaning what? You make single knot, and then you tie wind up the rope and tackle in the loose ends, and it's going to stay. And that's exactly what we do with tefillin, right? We put tefillin, and here you put remaining straps on your hand, and then the loose end you just tackle in between the straps, between the lines. That's it, and it's going to stand. Why? Because of the pressure. Because of the pressure, it's so tight, and it's going to press down, so it's not going to tie by itself. So even though it is single knot, but because of what we did to the ends, it's not going to get undone. In intent for or loose double knot. So single knot with a bow is forbidden. Or with the ends of the rope tucked in, that's what I just explained, or loose double knot. Okay, even though the second one is what is it? It's a little loose, but still you're not allowed. So the most common practical thing is tzzitzis. So we're not allowed to fix our tzzitzis, to tie it, and sometimes they get undone. It's because you always in emotions, and they can get undone. So the problem would be for talis gadol, for a big one in what we pray. Right, so you use it only on Shabbos, so it's not every day. So it's properly for folding it for storage after Shabbos to check the nuts. Otherwise, for example, if it's undone, and or if one nut is becoming loose, so you want it to tie, but it would be forbidden, 100% forbidden. Okay. Next one, if the intent for it to remain intact for more than 24 hours, right? So now we're talking the permanent knot. Okay. 1 second. Actually, no. So it's actually one more time the whole sentence. Single knot with a bow, or with the end of rope tucked in, or the loose double knot if intent for it to remain intact for 24 hours. So all of this, but we want to make them permanent. Okay. So they're not like a professional knot in this case, but we want to make it permanent, which is professional in some sense. Okay, continue. Number 4. Any one of these types of knots, even if less than 24 hours, on an object that people sometimes leave tight permanently, like a trash bag. Right, so that's another issue. So even one of these knots, right? Even one knot, right? One knot with one knot, there's no problem, right? Even less than 44 hours, but it's permanent. So nobody usually untie the trash bag. Once you tie, that's it. You understand? But here, like when you tie even once, you show that like once with a bow, right? You're saying that I have no, like, that's it, right? I'm not going to untie it. So nobody like do like let's say a knot and a bow, right? Because one knot is not going to hold it, but one knot and the bow, and then before I'm going to throw it to the garbage, I'm going to untie it. I mean, after Shabbos, most likely person is going to forget. So all of this forbidden because they are permanent. But if it's not permanent, for example, if it's shoelaces, there is no problem. You can tie your shoelaces and untie after Shabbos. Or a woman she can tie a belt, right? So she has a dress and a belt. There is no problem, right? The problem would be if she wants to tie it like some woman tie it in the back, or a man, right? You have this dress, raincoat, like long raincoat, and you have fancy schmancy belt. So many people use it as a belt. So I used to have a long time ago, like belt, like a coat like that, long, nice, right? So and some people would tie it on the back. Yeah, you can tie it in the back, but you should not, right? Because according to some opinions, this belt is like useless. I mean, you can say it's for decoration, but not everybody agree, right? Because it was there for a practical reason, not for decoration, right? But if you tie your belt like in front, like on this raincoat, for sure you're going to untie, because even on 2 knots, you can, of course, you never do the tight, but you can do two loose knots, right? One on top of the other, because for sure you're going to untie it soon. Okay. Okay, so continue. In case of necessity, it is permitted to tie single double knot with intention to do in less than 24 hours. Right? What we said about the women dress, I'm not sure what. I mean, that's the only 2 examples that I have in my mind: women's dress and a men's raincoat. Maybe there are others. I mean, of course, if a woman has the same raincoat, yeah, like same style, like with the belt, yes. Okay. It's also permitted to untie a knot that was tied with this intent. So meaning, on one hand, whatever is for us to forbidden to tie on Shabbos or Yom Tov, it would be forbidden to untie. So as we said, 2 separate melachs, they're not connected. Okay. Okay. But if somebody tied something on Shabbos with the intention to be untied on Shabbos, there is no problem. Okay, so one more time, it is also permitted to untie a knot that was tied with this intent. For example, if child's shoelaces come undone frequently, it is permitted to tie them in a double knot, provided that one intends to untie them at the end of the day, within the 24 hours, right? Because I mean, sometimes I don't know what they do, and they like, especially when they cannot tie the shoelaces themselves, you have to bend every time, and it's annoying to you and to child, right? So then you can do double knot. Especially sometimes, I'm not sure why they give shoelaces. They're so long. I don't know, like it's a child. You can save some money, like do half of the length. I don't know, right? So they get untied because they step on it and stuff like that. So you can do double knot or double bow, whatever you do. Since you have intention to untie, no problem. Within the 24 hours. So rather than slipping off while it is tied. So that's job of a parent, right? Because child can slip off and then that's it, and then start working in the house. That's the problem. If they're going to be tied this way for more than 24 hours. So it's your responsibility, basically. Okay. However, this leniency does not apply for tying or untying object that sometimes left tied permanently, such as trash bag. Or another case that we always give, like another example. Some people are a little lazy, on the lazy side. I'm not talking about somebody that have a back problem or elderly people. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about healthy, lazy people. Right, that tied the shoelaces once and never untied them, so they would like just walk like that. So and sometimes these shoelaces get untied, right? And for this person it would be absolutely forbidden to tie, because if he's going to tie now, the next time he's going to untie maybe in 2 years from now, or it's going until it's going to undone by itself. That's the problem. Okay. So continue. Section number 2, permitted methods of tying and untying. The following methods of tying are not considered knots and may be used even if one intends to leave them in place permanently. They also be unraveled at all cases. Okay, so let's see. Number 1, single knot made with the 2 strands of rope. For example, the first strand of tying the first stage of tying shoelaces. So it could be 2 different ropes or 1 rope, like or 2 strands of 1 rope, like does not matter, right? It's not considered a knot unless the ends of the string are tackled beneath it. So if you tackle meaning that it's not going to undone by itself, yes. But otherwise, it's not considered to be a knot. Okay, so 1 knot, single knot, no problem. Number 2, a bow without underlying knot is also not considered forbidden knot. Even 1 bow on top of another bow is permitted. So bow, I'm not sure how to tie bow. I mean, like it's in the knot, yeah. So it's not considered to be knot, period. Okay. So even as he said, even 1 bow on top of another bow. Okay. And number 3, slip knot is not considered a knot. So slip knot meaning when you pull, it's going to get undone. Very simple. So that's slip knot. Continue. A knot that was tied inadvertently may be untied on Yom Tov. For example, so like you tied with your shoes with a knot and a bow, right, regular, and then you do whatever you do, and it's like you pull the wrong side or something, and it became tight with a double knot. Okay, of course, it was not your intention. So you, even though like it is prohibited knot, but since it was not your intention, you're allowed to untie it. Okay. With respect to the prohibition of tying, only something that was created purposely is considered a knot. So if something like because they entangle something, that's not considered knot because you did not want it. Okay. Thus, if the permissible knot, for example, a bow, became tangled and torn into the prohibited knot, the type of knot, one is allowed to untie it. So as we said, I think with the shoes, when sometimes people pull like wrong string, and then it becomes a double knot. It is permitted to cut open knot rope, provided knotted rope, provided that the cutting is done destructively. So meaning that you can cut through the night, through the knot. So what could it be? Some in all the days. I mean, we have not gone to bakeries, but in olden days, like if you go to the bakery, so they give you box, and whatever you order, they're going to put in one box, and they're going to tie it with a string, like around, like from all the four sides. And usually, sometimes they would do a bow and a knot, but many times they would do just double knot, just to make sure that it's not going to undone and like spill everywhere, right? So that's this knot. For example, if you bought such a pastries, so you're allowed to cut through the knot, okay, in destructive fashion. Any questions on what I said? Okay, just 1 second. Okay, so no problem. So continue. So number 3 is a practical applications, and A is tying loose threads. It is forbidden to make a single knot on a loose thread to prevent it from slipping out of the garment. Even one intends to undo the knot within the 24 hours. Like, I don't know, it's something that gets undone, right? And if you make one knot, you're going to stop it. So, right? So, like, but it's for sure it's forbidden knot. Okay. Even if, as I say, if you planning to undo in 24 hours, it's not that. It's this knot like on the strand itself. That's the thing. So the only permitted ones when you have two sides. Okay. B, Tzitzis. It is forbidden to tie or unite knot. Unite knot meaning like a second, like to make it tighter. Knot at the end of the strand of Tzitzis to prevent from unraveling. Okay, that's okay. It is also forbidden to tighten loosen knots in the Tzitzis. So the first one is actually at the 1 second. The first one is at the end of the strands, right here. Some people do knots because I don't know, maybe they wash like some special way. I don't know, so it becomes undone. Okay. So for sure it's going to be permanent knot. Don't do it. Okay. And second case, as I said, it's like to tie the stitches together. Not together, like close the second knot. Okay. Next one is shoelaces. It is forbidden to tie a shoe with a double knot, even for a short time, except in case of necessity. But it is permitted for up to 24 hours. Right? So as we said, in case of the child, usually like adults can handle knot and a bow, usually. Okay. Moreover, it is forbidden to tie a shoe with a single knot and a bow if the knot will remain intact for more than 24 hours. For example, a person will slip the shoes off at night without undoing the knot. Okay, as we said, there is a special type of people that do that. Like majority of the people would, I think, I don't know what majority of people do, so, okay. So, I think they would not do that. Okay. So, but if person would slip off the shoes, forbidden. Continue. It is forbidden to untie laces that were tied in a double knot or in a bow knot for more than 24 hours, except in cases as explained above. It is to untie shoelaces that were tied in a double knot, right? Of course, we're talking about Shabbos. Okay. However, a person did not intend for a bow knot to remain in place for 24 hours, he may untie it. So as we said, it was like person, I don't know, it was accident. Even if it was ultimately left in place for more than 24 hours. Okay, I apologize. Let's read from the beginning and we're going to see. It is forbidden to untie laces that were tied in a double knot or in a bow knot for more than 24 hours. Meaning, however, continue. However, if person did not intend for a bow knot to remain in place for more than 24 hours, he may untie it. So meaning if it was even before Shabbos or before Yom Tov, it was tied with intention to remain permanently or more than 24 hours, so you cannot untie it, right? But if it was by accidents and you need it, there is no problem. That's a different story. Tied. Even if it was ultimately left in place for more than 24 hours, right? So if person did not intend, so it was 3 days, whatever, something happened. I guess if somebody have a person has a Shabbos shoes, right, and it and after he came after Shabbos and slipped it off, like was very tired, let's say, right, and left it for 24 hours. No, but he would untie it after, before Shabbos. I don't know. I mean, some similar situation, I guess. Okay. I mean, the person did not mean to leave it tied more than 24 hours. Okay. That's if person slipped off the shoes with his laces tied in a bow knot. Okay, here we go. And then decided to wear shoes on Yom Tov. It is permitted to undo the knot, even if it has been tied for more than 24 hours. The reason is that it was presumably not his original intent to leave knots in place for so long, since one usually untied shoes before taking them off. So that's the rationale. So usually it's not. So if person did not have specific intention, and he's not the person that would leave this bow knot like for more than 24 hours. Like I mean, he would undo it like every time he comes home. So we can presume that that's what his idea, like intention, that he meant to undo it, but something happened and he did not. Okay, that's why since it was not his intention, so we can undo it. Okay. In case of necessity, this rule applies to double knots as well. Okay. Any questions on what I said before I continue? Okay. No problem. So next one, D, opening parcels. And not the knot in a string around the parcel is of the permanent type. Since such a strings are usually cut rather than untied. One may therefore not undo the knot in a parcel of Yom Tov. However, one may cut the string in destructive fashion. For example, if one purchases boxes of matzah. Okay, before we continue. So when they say parcels, it's a packages. Like before, I don't know when they stop do these parcels. Like in my days, they do like what is it from? They would do boxes from a plywood, like thin plywood, and you can buy from the post office, and you put there, and you put the nails inside that. That's how you close. And on top, you also put the strings, right? Put a string, and they put a stamp, like they would melt the stamp. That's what the olden packages. And sometimes they would do it with what is it, with the letters, like special letters. They would melt a stamp and stuff like that. So I mean, for us, I think that this package from bakery is more practical than the parcels. Parcels today they do with a tape and that's it, right? So this parcel, this package from this what is it from the bakery. So just cut the nut. That's it. Destructive fashion. Or cut just the string, right? Not the nut. For example, if one purchases matzah that were tied up in a knot and knotted, it should not be undone on Yom Tov, but should cut the string destructively. So yeah, that's I mean today matzah like they simple they just tape it, but in olden days yeah they would just 1 second, sorry, 1 second. So with olden, I mean today like very expensive matzah they still have a string around, because I think that's my explanation, because the box is very soft. It's not as strong. Okay, so that's why you need a string to keep it together. Okay, but whatever we buy, it's like we buy 1 pound one, so it's a smaller one, so that does not need anything. So, but 2 pounds, when they buy 2 pounds, that's when you need the string. Okay, so for example, one purchased box of matzah, they were tied with a knot. He should not undo the knots on Yom Tov, but should cut the string destructively. So it does not say cut the knot, so maybe it's too much, so just cut the string. I would say because in some sense, if you're going to cut through the knot, so it's like you untie it. So I would not do that, but string is good enough. Okay. So next one, E. Hair ribbons. One must be careful not to fashion forbidden knot when tying ribbons in the hair. So again, if it's not in the bow, I'm not sure how they tie it. It was a long time ago. I think that they do with a knot in the bow. That's the way I understand. But because they have to undo it. Okay, so in this case, if she would undo it on that day, there is no problem. Okay. Next one is necklace. There are 2 different methods of making necklaces. So there is a children's game to make necklaces. So they have many beads and they play with it. There are 2 different methods of making necklaces, one of which is permitted and one is questionable, and the other is questionable. Okay. If the knot is fashioned in such a way that when the narrow end is pulled out, no knot will be left, right? The slip knot, right? There is a remaining fold comes apart with a single tug. It is considered like a bow, and may be made on Yom Tov, even if it is remain intact indefinitely. So that's like a slip knot, right? You make a slip knot, so if you start pulling one side, it's going to get undone. So that's even though as he said, unless you pull it, nothing is going to happen. That doesn't matter. It's not considered a permanent knot. Okay. It's considered like a knot in a ball. Okay. One more time. If knot is fashioned in such a way that there is a narrow end, when the end there is pulled, like a narrow, I think the shorter end is pulled, no knot will be left behind. There is remaining folds come apart with single tug. It is considered like a bow. So okay. So it's not considered like a knot and a bow. That's, I apologize. It's considered like a bow. One bow, we said it's like a single knot. Okay, that's why there is no problem whatsoever. Okay, very interesting. Okay, So this would be, so why do they need that? I mean, when they put on a string all of these beads, they want to tie it like they want to wear it as a necklace, right? So that's the thing. So if you have two knots like that from two sides, there is no problem. How they get together two sides, I'm not sure. Continue. If knot is left behind after the narrow end is pulled out, that's the problem. The tie should always be undone within the 24 hours. Some poskim rule, however, the necklace may be fashioned in any manner. Okay. I'm not sure why would they do that. So I mean, if it's a game, maybe because they're going to play next time. I'm not sure. And we're going to undo, but we should follow more stringent opinion. I do this permitted knot from both ends, and no problem. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Or we continue. Okay, so let's do another one, and it's tying and untying bags. Okay. So it says, so that's I think that's one the most practical one. After the shoelaces, these bags is the biggest one. If you need to, but you see, today they have a garbage bag, special garbage bag. You just pull to two different sides, and it stays together. There is no problem. Like even if you do one knot on this, it's going to stay. Okay. So one more time, tying and untying bags. When closing or opening plastic bags, for example, food storage or trash bag on Yom Tov, one must bear in mind that many common methods of tying bags are forbidden. That's why I said don't tie the bags at all. If you get used to, so just wrap under like this the loose end. That's it. Or put there is some clips. Okay. Number one, it is forbidden to gather two ends on top of the bag and tie it in a double knot. So that's simple, as we said, two ends and tie it in double knot. That's straightforward. Of course, it is forbidden. It is forbidden because of the knot, and forbidden because of it's going to be permanent. Number two, it is forbidden to gather the top of a bag and tie into the single knot, as I was showing, like two strands, like two sides get together in one single knot. Forbidden. Number three, it is forbidden because for sure it's not going to undone by itself. Okay. Number three, it is forbidden. So I like this knot. So because it's so stable, it's so permanent. So like when I buy, like for example, what do I buy? This fruits, vegetables. That's the knot that I would use. Right. And sometimes when you pull it a little too tight, you cannot undo it. So you have to cut the knot. Okay. So continue. Number three, it is forbidden to tie a trash bag with a single knot and a bow, right? Because nobody is going to undo it, right? Even if it intends to untie it within the 24 hours, since trash bags are often left tied permanently, right? People are going to forget for sure. Number four, it is forbidden to tie the food storage bag with a single knot and a bow unless, like trash, but even food storage, trash is a bit, one second, single knot and a bow, unless one specifically intends to do it within the 24 hours. For example, you have a bag with a bread, and you finish, right? And you want to eat what is it, melava malka? Okay, then there is no problem, right? Or you're going to, it's Friday and you're going to eat next morning. So then there is no problem, because of course there is the only place for challah is here. But I would say don't get used to it. Okay, continue. But after the fact, if like for sure you're going to untie, there is no problem. So it says the only permitted way to tie in a trash bag or food storage bag that may be made to remain tight for more than 24 hours is by gathering two ends on the top and tying single knot. That's it, like single knot, and that's the only way. But for food, it's not like you're doing something to that storage. It's more than enough. If you want to prevent the air coming in, right, there is one knot is more than enough. Okay, it is forbidden to untie any knot that it would be forbidden to tie it. Okay, so straightforward. So wherever you cannot tie it, you cannot untie it. Okay, that's the one may not untie food storage bags whose top was gathered together and tied itself in single knot. Meaning, right? So what you have to do, you have to cut below. Okay. One whose top was twisted tight with two ends gathered together in a double knot, and one that was tied with a knot and a bow that was intended to remain intact for more than 24 hours. So all of this, more or less the permanent knots. This double knot, or around itself, or a knot and a bow. So that they plan to be tied like this for more than 24 hours. What would be the practical example? I'm not sure why would somebody planning to have it closed for more than 24 hours. I don't know. Okay. If a bag is tied with one of these knots, he should tear the open destructive fashion, right? So the whole bag. However, if there is letters and a picture printed in the bag, one must be careful not to tear them, as explained in chapter 20. So just a cut, I would say, cut below the knot nicely, and then you can destroy the whole bag. Okay. I think we can stop here. Okay. Any questions on what we said? Yes, go ahead, please.
So the one friend is asking, so garbage bags are forbidden to close on Shabbos and Yom Tov even with a single knot?
No, with a single knot we can close with a single knot. Because, halakhically it's not considered to be knot. But when it says, for us in language-wise, yes, it is not. But halakhically, not, it means something that is a permanent or professional. That's considered to be not. Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Thank you, Rabbi. No, I was wondering what would be the way to handle neckties, the tie.
Okay, so the necktie is it's actually a very good question. He's not going to talk about it, HaShem. So we're going to explain. So the necktie is there are two types of maybe more, right? But I know two knots. One is very simple. I don't know what the names, but the thing is, if you're going to pull by this what is it, about the narrow end, it's going to come undone. So this, it looks a little crooked. Of course, you can fix it and make it look nice. It's smaller. So this knot you can do, you can tie on Shabbos and Yom Tov, right? Because it's as we said, it's if you pull it, it's going to get undone. But I think that the fancy schmancy in Windsor, I think, or something like that. It's double knots from one side and from another. What I just explained, it's single knot. But that one, if you pull, you just are going to make it tighter. So you cannot undo it like this. So that one is for sure permanent, and you are not allowed to undo it. So, but that's the secret. the secret formula. If you can pull it by one end and make it undone, so that's what we allowed. So, but we try not to tie like anything. So because why? Because especially if you know only one way of tying of this necktie, there is no problem. But if you know two and you start by mistake one, like something forbidden, why do you need that? Just have your tie before Shabbos. Okay. Or Yom Tov. So, okay. That's the same law, Shabbos or Yom Tov. Okay. What else?
Take care, buddy.
Okay. So let's do questions only on this topic because I want to start something else. Only on this topic. Go ahead.
Yes. Just looking on the board. If one zipped up his talis katan without any intention to use it again until next week, is this not forbidden, or is this forbidden?
Forbidden to do what? I didn't get. Could you read the question? The talis katan is the one that you wear on your body. Okay, so.
Yeah, and it says as zipped up in a bag. That's what it says.
I mean the zipper is not enough. You can open up and close zipper. There is no problem with the zipper. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So the other part of the question says, what if he had a special talis for Shabbos Hagalah that he only takes out once a year?
I never heard about this talis that you use only once a year. Shabbos Gadol. I mean, there is a two. There is a talis Gadol. Talis Gadol is the one that you like in one that you pray, and Shabbos Gadol is Shabbos before Pesach. I never heard. I mean, maybe there is such a custom by somebody, but I never heard of such a custom that somebody would use only talis on that Shabbos. It does not, for me, it does not make sense. I mean, it's a great Shabbos. It's usually a long speech of rabbi, but otherwise it's nothing else different. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
There's actually a couple of questions, not directly to what the book touched on today, but about ties. Should I?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yes, please.
So, what my friend says, I wonder if neckties are considered man's clothing, thus prohibited for women to wear. I
think so. It is a very good question. I think so. Like very rare. I mean, sometimes when they want to do like some crazy design or something, they would wear tie. But it's like, but I would say it's a men's clothing. Yes. Very good question.
Take care, buddy.
You're welcome.
And the next question about ties from Hagalah. On the subject of neckties, the only knots for neckties I know are named after clans or houses of the nations, such as the Windsor knots. Does that make this forbidden mimicry of the nation?
No. There is no problem. It's just a name. I mean, I'm sure that in different nations in English they call it this. In different countries they call it differently. So Windsor is this fancy schmancy that looks perfect, symmetric, and it is forbidden. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, just a question about the talis katan and talis Hagalah also. Is it okay if someone in the process of conversion has this taliot
No.
If he doesn't use it outside home?
No. So we recommend only to buy like when the date is set, maybe two weeks in advance. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Thank you very much,
You're
Rabbi.
welcome.
There's more questions, but they are related to this topic. So.
Okay, no problem. So very nice. So let's start. Maybe we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's a thick book. Oh, HaShem, I like books. I like books. I have one problem I have with the books: not to buy them too many, because I want to buy all of them. Not all of them, but the thing is when you buy books, and it's not like you can afford, you cannot afford. The issue is if you have books in your library and you don't study them, you don't learn from them, it could, Chas v'Shalom, could be applied against the person. I mean, especially a person who wasted his time. Like, why did he buy? To impress people that they have the whole library. Like, in a sense, so I'm trying to follow this advice of our great Chachamim, only to buy, but there is a very reasonable chance that I'm going to learn soon. Okay, so that's one of the books. So I was since you guys ask many questions about halachas of tznius, right, about modesty, and many questions came, and I never learned deep in. I mean, I learned from one book, but it was in our medical class. I had a medical class for, I don't know, like maybe 2 years or 3 years, very short, 30 minutes class, 4 times or 5 times a week. Right, we covered 3 volumes, the Shmiras Abraham, and one section there was about Yichud, right, seclusion. Why? Because the ambulance people that they have to seclude themselves. For example, 2 guys, like with a chatzala, right, and they have to drive a woman, so she's there. Like if you're allowed to do that, can you drive on a back alley? So it was so that's the only like a deep treatment of the subject that I was exposed to. Of course, I learned like in like short version, just synopsis that like everybody knows that's a thing. But this edition is actually 2 volumes. I don't know, like of course it's English and Hebrew, so I guess it's like altogether maybe 1,000 pages. Okay, of course we will skip some things, but okay, he has yeah, a lot. Okay, forget it. A lot. So we start with chapter 1, and the topic is the loss of Yichud. And it says introduction to Yichud. What is Yichud? Yichud may be defined as any situation in which man and woman/women are secluded. There is a protected from outside intrusion. In a manner this there is a conductive to arise conduct. Okay, so right, to arise conduct. What is here? Okay, this seclusion forbidden by the Torah. I mean, I apologize. Since I just got it, I did not have chance to explore the book and see where is he's pointing. But okay, we're going to figure out. Okay, so one more time. Yichud is situation when man and a woman or women, so just because there are 2 women, it does not mean there is not seclusion, right? There is a protected from outside intrusion, so meaning nobody is going to come in, right? In a manner that there is conductive to arise conduct. Conductive to arise conduct. So arise is, as we know, it's forbidden relationships. This seclusion is forbidden by the Torah. By the Torah. So meaning what? I had to go to the doctor for checkup on Monday, right? And they drew the blood, right? So and this lady, nurse, she closed the door. Understand? So I asked her, okay, can I leave it? So she she said, no, let's keep it closed because for whatever reason. So technically there is no problem because these nurses usually they just open the door and comes in. I don't know, maybe when there's some examination, serious examination, it's different. But like for me, for a checkup, there is no problem. So, and since it was everybody, it was not, door was not locked, anybody can come in at any time, so there is no problem. Okay, that was permissible. But if there is nobody there, if your last patient and the doctor said, okay, you know what, I'm too tired, I have to go home, and please take care of it, of this guy, take a blood test, this, that, and this. Okay, so it would be forbidden. If everybody leaves the office, absolutely forbidden. But that one is huge office, like 3 doctors, 4 doctors. So like on a corridor, people walking back and forth, like 8 examinations rooms. So yeah, that's a different story. Okay. The following situation in which man and a woman, or men or 2 women, are alone in Yichud. Okay. So it's he's very practical. Okay. So let's see. In a locked room or a house. Right. So if it's locked, so nobody can come in, and they feel secure, like nobody has a key, right? So that's locked, or a house. Okay. Next one, attic room, cellar, garage, shed, tent, etc. So now we're going on a list of some like secluded places. Attic, usually people don't go to attic, right? Let's say they use the attic for storage only. Cellar, right, meaning like a basement. Garage also, right? Some people have luxury garages. Shed also, or tent. So like if they seclude there, I mean it would be absolutely forbidden. Next one, secluded home, secluded house, or a building, even if it's unlocked. So meaning that there is no chance that somebody is going to pass. Like even if it's unlocked and you have it somewhere standalone. The next house is 1 mile away, 2 miles, whatever, far away. So absolutely forbidden. Like this guy that we used to have in this class, he asked many questions. I don't know what happened to him. Right, so he's working in a cable company. Right, so I think, or some kind of equipment, so he would install, and then he always asks these questions, right? Because he has to go in, and sometimes there is only one woman, elderly, doesn't matter, in the house. So we always say, keep the door open, right? Ask her, I'd like to keep the door open, so somebody can come in, but sometimes it's problematic. Wherever he described the situations, like branches or wherever he would go, that's for sure problematic, as it says here, right? A secluded house or building, even if it's unlocked, so nobody's going to come. Guess what? Even this post office postman is going to come, he's going to drop the mail. That's it. He's not going to go in. Big issue. Next one, in a locked office, or after hours, or even if unlocked. Right, a locked office. So like office, when you need to buzz somebody in, for example, right? That's a locked. So right, so like for people outside, if they don't see what's going on inside, it is closed, right? Or off hours, whatever the example that I gave. So everybody left, and this doctor said, okay, take care of him. Big issue. In a car, okay, so like, and it's impossible. Just so you know. So I just thought about it. So even if you go, so I go to a male doctor, of course, like physician. Okay, but yes, he's a male, but all of the whole stuff is a female. But only in one place I had this. I met this like younger guy, like a nurse, but after I saw that his nails and the way he behaved, I said, no, I'm fine. I mean, I did not want him to touch me. You understand? I think he's from the other side, this guy. You know, this with a manicure and stuff. right? And the way he talked, the way he was dressed, it's like so maybe he thought that he's a girl. So I said, no problem. Look, he said, I told him that I don't feel well. So I want to talk to the doctor. He said, whatever. I said, I'll talk to the doctor. So I think the doctor was Jewish doctor. Okay, so I told him everything he needed to know. I don't need to be touched. I don't need to be handled. Nothing with this guy. Okay. So continue. In a car, there's in a backwoods roads. So like in a service road. Like if you're driving in a car, like in a highway, and there is lights, there are cars around you, there is no problem. But sometimes people go on a sideways, like some village roads, like service roads. That's the problem. It's very secluded. Right, and that's what we learn in that Nishmat Abraham. Next one, yacht or enclosed private boat. Yacht for sure. You're somewhere in the middle of the river or ocean or whatever. So for sure, it would be forbidden. Next one, a private plane. So there are only two people, or a helicopter, etc. Okay. Regarding yichus in an airliner, see chapter 6. In the airliner, I'm not okay. So we're going to see what is the yichus there. I'm not sure. Okay, but helicopter we understand, and the plane we also understand. So next one, in seclusion, a secluded cave. Secluded cave. Maybe they are camping or something. I don't know. Abandoned mine and cemetery. So cemetery is also like not too many people there, unless like we go on a cemetery usually on 9th of Av and like on a yard site. So like only a few times a year. Understand? And the people, yeah, there are people, not too many, but I guess like in all, but you see, well, the cemetery where we go, it's a relatively new cemetery. So meaning there are many places to sell. So there is some like people come and buy spots, right? So that's why they have a bigger traffic. But if it's an old cemetery and almost all of the grave was sold, there are not too many people. So that's for sure like a secluded area between the stones. Yeah. Next one, in isolated woods, secluded park or park area, area of park, right? So isolated woods, so meaning there are like parks, like when there are many people are walking, but maybe at night, not too many people walking, or some bigger parks, some national parks, for sure, it would be forbidden. Okay, so let's see, maybe. I guess we can stop here, and it was a good start, and we're going to continue next time. So that's what I planned, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And we continued. Okay. Any questions on what we said? But I mean, on this topic, I don't think like only general questions because we're just starting out. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yes.
Someone for a friend is asking if Aku tells the name of the book.
The Halachas of Yichud. Right, it's actually how I remember this book. Rabbi Reuven Shlita posted this beautiful PDF file with all of the links, and I remember that about this book. I saw it. Before, but now like it was BeEzrat Dishmaya, and they free delivery. How can I go wrong with free delivery? Right?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Okay, you're welcome. It's by Rabbi Ribiat, Ribiat. Ribiat. So that's the book. You're welcome.
Okay. So, questions. Okay, so we go any topic, right?
Yeah, any topic, please. Yes.
Okay, so the question I think was put on the board before the class session. Question about Pesach.
Pesach, yes.
Number 1. I wonder how much of wine is required to drink during the seder. Is there a difference between the first and the second night for diaspora?
Okay, so two questions. So first question is what's the requirement? Okay, so I would say the requirement you have to prepare before the Yom Tov. So you have to measure the volume of your cups. So you have to buy the cups, or you use existing cups, whatever is it, right? I would say 4.2 ounces is accepted accepted measurements that like a full cup. Usually they more plus minus, like not minus. Plus is good, minus is not good. So if you get something like this, right, 4.2, like 4.5 plus minus, right? The thing is, it's preferable to have a fuller, so like it's less cup, but make it full. But you see, we bought this the cups like a long time ago. Not cup, like cup. What do you call it, cups? Well, glasses, not cups, glasses. So we bought these glasses a long time ago, and they fancy schmancy, whatever my wife likes. So it's a little bigger. So we pour like a little more than a half. Right? Why? Because it is preferable to drink, if possible, to drink the whole cup, right? Or at least majority. So majority means more than a half. So, and plus, okay, so that's halacha, period. So now I'm going to explain like what I do, right? So since a Pesach, it's very special day, and it's a biblical requirements to drink this, that, eat. So we're going to see, right? So I mean, me personally, I try to go by the most strictest opinion. So according to all of the opinion, that is going to be considered that be it. Even though during the year, me personally, I don't abide by those opinions. Absolutely not. Right? But on Pesach, me personally trying to be stricter. So I go by Hazanish. Hazanish says 5.2 ounces. Right? It's a lot. But what we do, we don't do like only wine, like pure wine. So I mean, you drink so much wine, even like I don't know, like 9%, at least me, I would knock you out. Why? Because there is first of all, it's very late. Most likely everybody will working like preparing for Pesach. Everybody's tired. It's very late. It's, I don't know, like 8 o'clock, 8:30. You just started, and until you start eating, it's going to be very long time until you do all the Hagalah, other things. So what we do, we take wine, not very strong wine, but 100% wine, and we dilute it with the grape juice. So it would not be so strong. But other people, if we have elderly people, so we just pour them grape juice, because I mean, wine, not everybody can drink so much wine. So for all my guests, they can drink whatever we pour them like 4.2, you know, like it's a little more than a half in our glasses, but we tell them to drink like half. So it's too like it's not too much. So 2 ounces of wine is not too much. Okay, so it's preferable to be red wine. Cooked, non-cooked is up to you. I like personally non-cooked. And that's it. And second question was about what? I forgot. What was the second question? Sorry.
is there a difference between the first and the second
Okay,
night
yeah, okay.
for diaspora?
Yeah, so there's absolutely no difference. So we do exactly the second night exactly what we do on the first night, and plus a matzah. So I usually abide by Rab Moshe Feinstein's Zatzal. So whatever he said, it's enough to eat kizayis of bread to say Birchas Hamazon, but biblically it's not enough. So biblically it's actually, I mean, if you want to go according to all of the opinions, so you need to eat double kizayis, so kibeitza. So it's 56 grams. So and if you eat this handmade like shmura matzah, so it would be like not the half, not the whole, but I guess like two-thirds approximately. So it's a lot. So like right, or if you eat the machine matzah like a box in box. So I think you need to eat 1 or 1.5. You have to calculate. I know that this box is 1 pound, but I don't remember how many pieces per box. So I know from this you can calculate. So if it's 1 pound, 16 ounces, right? So you can calculate to eat 2 ounces. That's it. I think it's 1 or 2. I don't remember. 1.5. I have to check. Okay. But again, so on others we can go leniently, but if somebody asks you what is the best to do, so you do that. So after you drink so much liquid wine, after you eat so much matzah, you eat this few times, you understand? And then after you eat so much lettuce, because lettuce is very light, so you have to like eat a lot of lettuce, right? So basically, like me personally, I almost full. Like after I complete the basics, me personally almost full. Almost. I mean, of course, you eat some things, but not much. Because why? Because you would need to eat afikoman at the end, and it's afikoman according to some opinion, it's like they say it's like hagiga. Like Hagigah, like a Pesach offering, some like not the Pesach, like extra offering. Some say no, it's actually korban, like remembrance of the korban Pesach. Whatever is it, doesn't matter. This opinion, that opinion, but you have to eat at least almost full matzah. So that's you have to save room in your stomach. Why? Because if you eat when you're not hungry, if you push yourself, it's not considered to be eaten. Right, so you have to be a little hungry. So after these 4 cups, if you do the maximum, after this matzah, that we do the maximum. Like usually people don't eat that much. Okay, so just keep in mind. Next day on the Pesach day, you can eat whatever you want, as much as you want. That's a different story. But that night is very specific, like specific to eat what you must eat, drink what you must drink. Okay. You're welcome.
Friend says, thank you very much for the love. To make sure I understand, Robbie corrected. We need 4 cups for each seder, and for each cup we need at least around 4.2 ounces.
Mm-hmm. Yes, correction. So 4.2 ounces, but you're not obligated to drink 4.2 ounces. That's the thing. So you can do, as I said, you can do like the 2.5 ounces. That's enough from each cup. That's it. So of course, if you want to do the mitzvah in a preferable way, you do 4.2. I do 5, just in case. That's what I do once a year, and I'm getting ready. That's why we dilute it with juice. Otherwise, like you're going to be drunk, and plus you have to concentrate. You have to read Hagalah. You have to tell the story. Like and plus, usually we don't eat at that time, right? So you have to like get ready, weigh your matzah or calculate how much matzah you need to eat. Calculate wine. So if you need to dilute. If you want to dilute with water, right? You cannot add. It depends on the wine. Don't add more than 20%, 25% tops, because they already diluted in the factory. That's it. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, second question from our friend says, if we know we only put rice and water into our rice cooker, do we still need to kasher it for Pesach, assuming we would eat rice during Pesach?
Only rice and water during the Pesach. I think the problem would be like with washing. You understand that the person most likely washed it in a regular sink with a regular what is it called, sponge. That's would be the problem, and most likely the water was hot, so you would need to kasher it. But you need to kasher only things that were in contact with food or steam. So I'm not sure how would you kasher the top, like a lid if it has this rubber gasket. That's too much. I mean, unless it's a regular without electronics, like very simple rice cooker, like a simple lid. So then no problem. You can kasher the way we explained. You just boil water and some clean pot, and then dip it. Of course you wash it before, you wash it nicely, leave it for 24 hours, then wash it, or wash it and then leave for 24 hours, and then you can kasher, and after that you can take to mikveh, and that's it. So if it's no gaskets, like rubber gaskets, there it should be no problem. It's very straightforward. Or buy second one for Pesach. Okay, so for Sephardic tradition to eat rice and kidneys. Kidneys is all of the legumes, like corn, like peas and beans, rice, all of these things. So Ashkenazim don't do. There is one exception for Ashkenazim. Not everybody agreed, but now it's more than before. There is grain. It's called chiquina or something like this. It's from South America. Maybe I never can pronounce it correctly. But whatever they when our rabbis decreed that we should not eat kidneys, so this was not included because it never grew in Europe. So there is this prohibition from Europe, first of all, and even in this South America, whatever, it's like in some countries, I don't remember which country, it never they never do it. The field is never next to the wheat field. I'm not sure why. But there is I remember reading the explanation, but it's like it's not good for this field, whatever. That's yeah. So it would be like exception, and it's actually it's very expensive. For us, it's very expensive. But I like it. Okay.
You're welcome. Next question. The last question about the amidah. Do the sages mention why the bracha against the rashayim was inserted right next to the bracha for the tzaddikim? The proximity seems to make it harder pivot one's kavanah while davening, since both sections are near polar opposites.
Yes.
Why didn't they space them further apart? Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, that's an amazing question. So first, when it was added, it was Shmona Esrei, meaning that you have 18 blessing. But if you count one by one, it's 19th blessing. So this blessing about destruction of this all of these rashayim people was added when there were too many of them, too many informers that go to the government and tell on people. And then, unfortunately, during the coronavirus, so you think, yeah, it's all gone. Jews go to the government to tell them. Unfortunately, when they started with coronavirus, and people wanted to pray, like Jews, just like when we're in trouble, the whole world is trouble. Is the worst thing to do is not to pray, or not to pray in the minyan. You understand? So for the sake of you, for the sake of your family, sake of nation, for the whole sake of your country, the whole world, it's proper to pray in minyan. You understand? And some people, despite the government orders, they were trying to get together, right? And of course, and who were informing the the authorities, the Jews. Like on the modern side, they and I even the shul that I go. There's some crazy professor. He saw me without masks. He started screaming and yelling, "How come you endanger the whole community? Like I'm whatever." Of course, I just walk past them like he's crazy, but this guy took the whole matter seriously. Of course, nobody called on me to authorities, but this guy was a little too much. Yeah. You understand? So even today, so people might say, yeah, it was a long time. No, it's not long time ago. A little pressure, and these people wanted to save community, to keep everybody safe. Like we were like a religious, religious fanatics. In the shul that I go, there is one huge blessing with that shul. There are many blessings, but one huge blessing that it has a huge place. And several rooms, right? There's like social hall, like banquet hall, and plus this main shul, and there is a plus there was a like study hall, like three halls. So and when they say no more than 15 people can get together, so we're splitting actually, no problem. So 15 people in this minyan, 15 people in that minyan, 15 people in that minyan. So people came actually from different shuls when they have a lesser, and you have to have a space, like a space, I don't know, 6 feet, whatever was it. You understand? So and everybody were afraid that somebody would call the authorities. It's like somebody would stay too close to somebody else. They called the authorities, and authorities shut us down, would not allow to enter the shul. Understand? So even among the community, forget about other people. I mean, they say that some people would come from police or I don't know, like check if Jews pray properly. All these clowns. You understand? But most likely somebody from the shul would call. But I'm not sure anybody ever called. But we have like enough space to separate 6 feet, and some people were afraid. So yeah. Very good, but why second part of the question? Why this next to tzaddikim? Because tzaddik cannot have a peace of mind when this rashayim are still in the world. So HaShem said, right? I have to first do whatever I need to do for my tzaddikim, eliminate this evil, right? And David HaMelech said, HaShem, I hate you. They content with you. So all these people who goes against HaShem, so I say, no, HaShem loves everyone. No, he does not. It says, who contends with you, so they have their own opinion. Have to block somebody with their own opinion, one lady. Right? Today, like with people with their own opinion, goes against HaShem. So this tzaddikim, David HaMelech, and other people who wants to be close to HaShem, no, they're not in peace. Right? And even that in everything like when these clowns go against HaShem, they bothers them directly. Like this guy is doing that, or girl is doing that to them. So for this tzaddik to have a peace of mind as HaShem want them to have, so HaShem has to eliminate this regime from this world. So that is a direct connection, and one does not go without the other. It's a very good question. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. So for the last question about modesty for men, I wonder if some colors are prohibited for men, like baby pink. If so, does it only apply to clothing, or it also applies to personal items too, like cups, toothbrush, etc.? Also, if there's a shared item between couples, like a hand towel, should the wife purchase a gender-neutral color, like white, to avoid this? Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, yes. So started with men clothes. Yeah, all of this pink, baby pink. This if it's like and until the last generation, though, all were like a girlish colors. So leave them alone. And plus, there's all of gay people like wear them. So you don't want to associate with them. You want to stay as far as possible. So from all of these colors. Right, but other color that there is no problem whatsoever. Like I would say some solid color, whatever some people like, green, blue, whatever you like. There is no problem. Maybe not very like color. Some people who wear colors. I don't know, like especially Jewish with a huge stomach. I don't know how old is he, but he likes to all of this like not neon, but like. Yellow, very, very, very yellow, like so concentrated yellow shorts. Like, why is that? Like orange, like so, like you can see the guy with a huge stomach, like from like, why do you need that? So we try not to attract as a Jews, not to attract attention, right? Like you're never there. Okay, I understand. So whatever neutral color. It's good, and plus, the second question about other things, yes. So, like, it would be the go in the way of the women. So my wife showed me a picture some years ago. So there's a tool set, like a pink. The drill is pink. That hammer is pink. The pliers is pink. Like for a girl, like a tool belt, is a pink, like in the back to carry this tool. Like that's too much. You understand? So I mean, so leave these colors for the girl, and if about the towels, so just buy the neutral towels. There's so many colors. Right, so many colors, and plus you can have for wife one color and for him another color. Maybe it's not a good idea to share one towel. You understand? So I mean, towels are very cheap, a few dollars. I mean, so I would say buy separate towels, maybe different colors. She like pink, like your pink. Buy you some manly color. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So this is very funny because I happen to have a pink toothbrush, but not because I liked it or anything. I just bought a 3-pack of this toothbrush, and I said, okay, well, why should I dispose it? I'm going to use it until.
No. In this case, like if a place, I see what you're saying. So sometimes we buy the whole pack, like 6 or 10, I don't know, 12 or whatever toothbrushes. Right? So I use it for over the period of time. So of course there is one of them would be like that, or two of them like some crazy color. So it's not that. There is no problem with that. We're talking about like person specifically, what these colors, right? Or for example, for men, you buy socks for example online. I don't go to stores. So there is for the same price you can have solid black, or for the same price all of the colors in the world, same price. Like why would you want to do that, right? You're not obligated to buy solid black. You can do some design. There is no problem whatsoever with that. But sometimes people buy and they call it happy socks, whatever they call it, like too much. The whole black and white, and they sucks like crazy. Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next question. For the Rav, why don't chabadnikim dip their matzah?
Why don't they dip their matzah?
Yep.
Okay, so there is a. So let's start from the beginning. On Pesach, there is as I said, many people conduct themselves more strictly, and even during the year we will go to each other to celebrate. On Pesach, we usually even friends don't visit each other because of strictness. So it's not like we suspect them, but we suspect them. Understand? But since it's everybody do that, there is no problem. Right? Of course, the family can get together if they have the same custom and stuff like that. Right? So there are some people who say there is the matzah still can become chometz. How so? If you have like when they bake matzah, it's very fast. I don't know, a few minutes and it's ready because it's so thin, right? But they say it might be like it's bubbles, right? Between these bubbles, like few like I don't know, milligrams, whatever. I don't know, like one grain, 2 grains of actually raw flour. Possible. Don't ask me what is the percentage possibility, but theoretically we can understand there is such a possibility, right? So if this matzah is going to get like together with with the water or other liquids, so it's going to become chometz. So meaning what? Like if you eat like from your plate, you have salad, right? For example, you eat salad and you eat matzah. Of course, you have crumbs from matzah. Fall on your plate. So they would not do that. So some people, I'm not sure, chabadnik, I'm not sure about that, but I know some people have this custom. They call gebrachts. It means that they would not, they say, you eat gebrachts or not. So meaning, are you going to eat matzah with water or not? Right. So that's a different story. Right. So meaning some people are so strict, they would eat like from a clean plate. Right, and even like or above the like a garbage bag or something, so they would not even wash this plate. You understand? So maybe the way I understand, they would eat over the plate, whatever is left over, they throw to the garbage, or whatever they eat. They try to eat all of the crumbs, and they would eat like you use this dry plate every time, because if you go to wash it, what is the difference? Of course, it was not your intention, this and that. Of course, it did not come together 18 minutes because you washed. But some people are a little this way. You understand? And these people would not come to our house to eat because for them our dish is not kosher. They are kosher, but they have gebrachts. That's the problem. So a custom on my family, where we came from, it's actually davka do matzah brai. I think it's called brai. So how do you do it? You put matzah in it, like you break it in parts. You pour boiling water, so it now becomes soft, and you add eggs. You add mushrooms. You add salt, pepper, this and that. You mix it and you fry it. I mean, it's very filling thing because it's very heavy of bread, a lot of bread, but it's very, very tasty. I mean, once a year there is no problem to it. So not only we eat so crumbs would fall in our plate. Forget about that. Like we put it hot water. So that's our tradition. So many people eat matzah balls. So these people who do not eat gebrachts, they will not eat matzah balls. So matzah ball, it's how would they make it? They do matzah, then I grind the matzah, make matzah meal like flour. It's not flour, but something like flour, and they mix with the egg with other things, and they make matzah balls, right? And they cook it. For sure, that these people would not eat. Okay. But I think they're minority, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say because I never looked into it like so deeply. But that's the thing. So people who have tradition not to eat, so they have to keep that tradition. People without tradition, I would say, don't invent anything. Just go by whatever is lenient. Understand? Why should you take stringency upon yourself if it's not in your family? Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. Hagalah question about kashering for Pesach.
Mm-hmm.
If we're trying to kasher through dipping in boiling water, does the huge pot which the water is in need to be already kosher for the Pesach before using it to kasher others?
Not. It's a very good question. Not necessarily. It could be if a pot is not new. Not new, so you can just kasher the pot itself, right? So for example, it was a meat pot, for example. So that how you do kasher. So you let it stand for 24 hours, clean, of course, 24 hours, clean again, like nothing is there. So then you fill with water, like we let it boil, let it overflow for some times, and like a few seconds even, and that's enough. So that's how some people say put a stone. All these stones thing, it's very dangerous. So, that's what they say. If you don't want to use a new one, so how on a stove top, you will put a stone on a fire, so it becomes red, becomes white, whatever. You take with not with the pliers, what was it called, tongs, like long tongs, it has to be very strong. And you put it in this water, so the water is boiling, and now it's boil even more with the stone inside, right? And then this pot becomes kosher. So you take it to mikveh, and now it is ready. You can use to kasher for Pesach, right? And then you can dip inside. So maybe cheaper solution to buy new pot. Right? So it does not have to be expensive. Right? Or buy new pots. Forget about this. Buy new pots and pans, and then you don't need to kasher. Just dip in the mikveh. It's the cheapest and the most safest solution. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Question about family purity law.
Mm-hmm.
I learned when the wife is niddah, she should dress something different than usual as a reminder. I wonder if she also should have special personal items like towel, plates, bed sheets, etc. as reminders.
So some special clothing, yes, okay. Bed sheets, they should sleep in different beds. That's the thing. So usually people have two separate beds, right? Or if they want big bed, this queen size or king size, so there is no problem. But they have to this gas bed, rollaway bed, whatever they call it, right? And he should go there because many times the women they're very lonely, and they especially for women who are in pain now, she has to go separate from her husband, in a different room. That's too much. You understand? So you do whatever you want. You just plan two separate beds, right? Or husband is going to sleep on this fold away bed, like roll away they call it, whatever they call it. Yeah, this bed. Okay, so towels for sure, as we said before, it's proper to have separate towels, like in general, right? Plates, they cannot eat. I mean, he cannot eat from her plate. She can eat from his plate, like, but when he does not see it. But usually, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to eat from each other plate. So yeah, it's normal to have several plates in the house.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So a friend's asking, how do you spell the name of the fried matzah, egg, and mushroom dish?
I'm not sure how to spell BRI. BRI. Try maybe EI. Try like this, right? Matzah. If you say matzah, if you type in Google matzah, BR, and I think it should give you like a suggestion. Matzah, right? Yeah, it's all like a beautiful dish. I mean, it's not healthy, for sure. It's too much matzah, but it's very, very delicious. Once in like few times a year, there is no problem to eat it. And plus, this is famous matzah ball soup, right? So chicken soup is matzah ball. It's very, very delicious. Right? They absorb like a lot of liquids. So they're very, very juicy, very nice.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So our friend also asks, are there specific spices added to?
I mean, we add, what is it? Like salt and pepper usually. That's it.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. Question about wine.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't know much about wine. I wonder if the low degree wine, like 5%, is still considered wine. Is a low degree result from adding too much water, thus it might not be halachically wine? Would it be a concern if we buy the wine from kosher store?
So that's a very good question. So I always had this question. Yeah, usually, like it could be this and could be that. So like it could be like they add too much water. Possible, right? It's the easiest thing to do. But money wise, if you see like it should be 3 times cheaper, it's not. It's actually this brand that we drink, and there's one star. I don't remember what is the name of it. Like, but it's what is it? It's 4.5%, I think. Like alcohol, it's like 30% more. It costs 30% more than regular wine. I mean, that for me it does not make sense. The way I understand, it's just the way they make it, so it's 100% wine. But I would not dilute that wine, right? So if somebody buys it, use it as it is. So of course you have to read on the back if they consider it to be wine. I don't think like a juice would do something like that, and it's not going to be wine. And I'm going to explain. Otherwise, it's going to be drink. Like for example, they have a grape drink. It has nothing to do with wine. Even there is a wine, but it's so little so little wine, so it's not considered to be wine. On such a beverage, you would say shehakol, right? So I assume that if it's in a liquor store, it's a wine. But you can see on the bottle, you can ask a person as well. Or if you send me, I can check. like pictures, like front and back, we can see if it's wine. Because for example, this brand Manischewitz, right? Manischewitz, they have matzah, famous matzah, and they have wine also. So they have this famous peach wine, right? If somebody like peach, it's a very good wine, but but it has nothing to. I mean, there is a peach, but the base of the wine, it says like in Hebrew. So you need to know how to write to read Hebrew. It's actually Barepricho Geffen, blessing. Understand? I mean, for other people do not care. But I would assume, like as a consumer, if they say peach wine and it smells with peach and it tastes with peach, guess what? I mean, peach with alcohol, of course. It should be peach. No, it's not peach. Right? Maybe the color, maybe artificial. I don't know. I don't think so. Like regular peach, I guess, would be like not so expensive, but it's actually grape wine, right? And they have another wine which is blackberry, blackberry, and it says shechakol. So in Hebrew, like I mean in France. So yeah, this is wine from the same manufacturer. I'm not sure how they do it, but that doesn't matter. I mean we just go by whatever they say. They say shechakol, it means it's shechakol. Maybe there is a grape wine like one of the ingredients, but it's so insignificant that they say shechakol. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, Rabbi, I have this question about Kiyavas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, on the mission that I'm studying, it delves thoroughly into this issue of community service, like people that do a lot of community service, of course, within the Jewish context. And it says that the person that dedicates himself faithfully to this issue, he would be forbidden from missing or being lax with his observance of certain mitzvos.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mention which mitzvos, though. So I was wondering. It even says even further on. It says that the person not only would not be punished for missing these mitzvahs, but rather he will be greatly rewarded instead, because of dedicating himself to serve others. So I was wondering, what are the mitzvahs that someone that does community service should be more aware of, having in mind that this may be something that is very time consuming, this community service. So what are the mitzvahs he should be, I mean, regardless of this laxity, he should be more careful of?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first let me explain the question, and before we do that, we have a special prayer actually for these people in our Shabbos morning prayers, right? And we bless, and it says, if you see there was the commentary. Somebody escaped my mind. The name of this prayer. Yom Kippurkan, right? So it's I think it's 3 paragraphs, and if you're praying alone, you say only 1 paragraph. But if you're praying with the congregation, you will say all 3 paragraphs, and you're actually blessing all these people who dedicate themselves to community service, because it's these people need a special blessing. Why? Because they have to do with all of the annoyance of people, right? So people annoying, right? It's not a secret. Everybody knows that. Moshe Rabbeinu said they're stiff necks, so right, and of course somebody need to care of this community business, and these people since they're busy in this mitzvah, right? You know that there's a rule: if you're busy in one mitzvah, you're not obligated to in another mitzvah, right? But there is conditions. So if you can do that mitzvah later on, but if there is only time, for example, the Shema to say Shema now, like even if you're in a community service, so you say Shema, minimum of the minimum, and without blessing before, blessing after, and you're going to continue to do what you do, right? So, and he's not obligated in many other mitzvos. So, right, but mitzvah that like a biblical, yeah, person would be obligated to put tefillin, for example. Maybe he would be free and put tefillin like a different time, and maybe if he's need to take care of the business of the community, so he would be allowed to, not would be, but for sure would be allowed to pray later, stuff like that. Say only minimum, then continue later. So, but so that's it. I mean, I mean personally, I don't know, like people that's so busy with the whole community. At least where I live. Maybe in other places there are such a people, but usually today maybe because the society is richer, so they have helpers. So it's not only one person, so he has a few assistants who are doing the job for him. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, on this other book that I'm studying, there's this commentary about when someone feels angry. This is very, very interesting. It says, when a person feels anger or any bad trait stirring within him, he should say with all his strength, "Hakenani, Hachiti, Hamori, Haprisi, Hachibi, Havehayushi, Vehagrigashi." So, of course, it's a part of the people that were expelled from the land of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But I was wondering, what's the connection between these two issues?
So one, it's very good. So let me just explain quickly the question. So the commentary of that book says that when somebody is very angry, so he said, "I'm like this one of the 7 nations that can HaShem expelled from the land of Israel." And gave it to Jews, right? So, and they were like very, very immoral people, right? Of this 7 nations. That's why HaShem said, not allowed to let them live there. So maybe they're nice people, and they say we want to become Jews, not allowed to accept them, right? Because why? They would go back very soon, like little pressure, and they would go back to their immorality and their idol worship very soon. Okay, so that says laws of the people, right? And idol worshippers, right? So and we know that somebody who is worshiping, who is getting angry, he's an idol worshipper, right? In some sense. So why is idol worshipper? So he's so angry, he cannot control himself. Like for example, something happened. Person got upset and he started like overturning the chairs and throw the food to throw the food around the kitchen, break the plates. Like how did it fix the situation? Smash the phone on the wall. Did it fix it? Like now it's all over? No. So and the person is very irrational. And even if he was a religious person all his life, so he's so irrational. So if you tell him, let's go worship idols, guess what? He's going to go. Very, very big probability, right? Because he cannot control himself. So these people also could not control themselves. They would begin all the desires. So that's the problem. Understand? And what else did I want to say? One second. No, that's it. I forgot, but okay. So yeah, that's the actual connection. Worshiping idols. So I'm like them. So we say we make fun of them. Yeah, HaShem kick them out. But guess what? You know what? When I'm angry, I'm like them. So and as we said before today, very interesting. See how it all ties up. So a person says, you know what, you have to say out loud. So out loud, like even if you whisper, or even you say in your mind, you understand what it's saying. No, you have to say out loud that your ears would must hear what you're saying. Right? That's when person understands better. That's why I said so many times. Person has to talk to himself, talk to HaShem out loud, not in your heart. I mean, it says in your heart, but you say out loud. Okay. What else?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
HaShem. So, this book also says, very close to this commentary says that a person should be careful not to look at the face of a liar. So, I mean, of course, it's very easy to spot when someone is angry and not look at his face, but how can we avoid? I mean, first and foremost, why are we forbidden from looking to the face of a liar, and how can we spot whether someone's a liar or not, so we can avoid looking at his face?
First of all, don't look at anybody's face unless you know the person is a tzaddik. That's it. So no tzaddikim, they say if it's there is any problem to have portraits of the tzaddik, there is no problem. Okay, there is no problem. Right? Maybe not in the bedroom, but in other rooms there is no problem. And what else? 1 second. And the liar, how you can? Many times you know when people are lying, like some people are compulsive liars. They just lie like nobody, like without any benefit. They just they cannot stop themselves. They lie. But if you don't know that somebody is a compulsive liar or just a liar, he's lying, so maybe there's no problem. But better not to look at the people. Why you want to look at the people? Understand? So this way we would save yourself from issues. Glance, of course. I mean, you don't want to look at the wall all the time. You glance, but you're talking to somebody, glance at them, have eye contact, and that's it. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay, so there's another question on the board. Shalom Chalav. Another question about Pesach. Could Chalav recommend some Pesach dishes for us to try or make at home? I'm especially curious about how Ashkenazi eat during Pesach with more food restrictions.
That's propaganda about Ashkenazi. Actually, we eat vegetables. So what we eat in our house, like you see, like for me personally, in my family, there is no restriction whatsoever, because we almost don't eat rice. Like we eat maybe a few pounds a year. All other grains, when you get older, they're not healthy. Like go ask your doctor. Like all of this. So we don't eat all of these things. Like this corn. Always also like once, maybe months or so. Like not more than that. So there is no problem with the diet. So meat is allowed, right? All of the salads, all the vegetables are allowed. So only grains are not allowed. So that's it. Rice, as I said, there is no problem. Any dishes, any special dishes, I told you this matzah bowl soup and this matzah brai. That's it. All the same dishes. The rest is exactly the same. I don't know. Maybe some people cook something special, but I'm trying not to overburden my wife, because many times this Shabbos is first of all, it's a lot of cleaning. Not a lot, but of course. I mean, she does extra. She said, I know it's not necessary. Okay, I said, I told you, you do whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do, and that's it. So everybody's tired. So now the special dishes, I don't know. But all of the vegetables are allowed. So for us, in my family, there is no restriction whatsoever. I mean, the only thing, we don't eat bread, but my wife learned how to bake from starch, potato starch. I mean, but it's for everybody. right? Sfaradi, Ashkenazi, that doesn't matter. So starch and matzah meal, and sometimes it's so tasty, you don't know the difference. But some ingredients actually, like, I don't know, I hope it's not for a purpose. They do it disgusting. Like, I don't know why do they have to do it. Some things, like, because of the issue. I'll tell you what the problem. The issue is a vinegar, right? So most of the vinegars they made, like, the cheaper, like a regular one. They're made from the wheat, and you Europeans, they made for no, here in the States and Canada they do from corn, right? And European they made from wheat. And if you want to get like wine vinegar, so it would be very expensive because it is a wine, right? And it's not usually, that's not what you want. But other ingredients, they discuss, like vinegar is discussed, and some dressings they make, I don't know, like uneatable. I'm not sure why it should be this way, but it's for everybody. So I mean, we don't Ashkenazim don't suffer, not one bit. I mean, usually Ashkenazim don't eat these grains to begin with, not a lot. Bread, yes, but other things, no. Okay. Right, but we had some students, and they said, like, no, not had, we have from where is it, from eastern country, from what is it, Bukharians, right? So they eat in their country they eat rice 3 times a day, no, maybe 2 times a day, like, for sure. Like, for them, I remember, maybe I said the story that I had a friend long time ago. So he came with his family, and the girls ask, like, his daughters, what are we going to eat? Where's the rice? And my wife, she did not know. Many years ago, she said, why do we need rice? We're going to have meal. So without rice, she said, without rice, and they could not understand how is it going to be a meal. And the little one, she was maybe 6 years old, 7 years. She said, no, we cannot eat without rice. We're going to be hungry. So that's what parents taught them. So if you don't eat rice, you're not going to be satiated, basically. That's it. So it's I mean, very interesting. So but when they finished, they did not feel hungry. They were satiated with other foods. Yeah, that's very. So it depends on the culture, basically. So for them, I guess, for them not to eat rice this 8 days, it would be big suffering for us. No problem. All this like buckwheat. Also, we eat buckwheat maybe once a month, maybe once in 2 months. Like, that's it. Right. I like spaghetti. Some people like spaghetti. So I also don't eat much spaghetti. So, okay. So no suffering whatsoever. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, I have this last one question. Since I don't see more questions on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do we deal with a coworker from the opposite gender that kind of sends flirty messages during regular interaction? Of course, it's not like the person is doing this all the time. I mean, only when we have to interact. But sometimes I feel that if I cut her off, I don't know, and try to point this out, or try to, I don't know, so to speak, rebuke her about this would have some repercussions in the work environment. So I was thinking, I mean, this is just the way this person behaves.
Exactly. So it's not against anybody. That's your nature. Yeah. So
exactly.
So you ask her. We had this incident with one of my students, and this guy, he has a great sense of humor. So he was telling jokes until he saw one of our clips that this all the jokers goes to not hot place, right? So very hot place. So he said he got scared, and then he saw it also in one Rabbi Rubin's clips also. So he said I stopped. But all of the co-workers in office, they got used to it. What do you mean this guy is going to come and not to tell jokes? Like, and this holy tzaddik, so he actually stopped. And he said there is one girl that she would demand, like, I don't know. And I told him, just talk to her nicely, explain, say that there is no problem. You're a very good person, but for me, that's what I do. I'm trying to be close to HaShem, and we're trying to keep men and women together. So I like you. I like to work with you. You're very good professional, this and that. But the joke stuff and the guy smoking also, right? Smoking is modesty is yes. Smoking you cannot give up yet. BeEzrat HaShem. But and he said, but I need to go to smoke, and she would go with me, or other like girls would maybe they're half a staff of girls or something, right? So I told him like smoke less or go somewhere when you see that they just came from smoke break. Now you go, right? So but he told her and she understood. I mean it's been only a month or 2 months since then. So I told him don't just because she said she understands that does not mean that she's going to give up. That's how women are. They see that you're trying to avoid them. They dafka do that, and they do it to me like sometimes these crazy women. So in the summer, so when I see like in the corner of my eye, there is some immodesty coming my way. So many times I just cross the street, no problem, or I just go on the road. I go like in a back alley, so there is no problem. I just look back. There is no car, so I just walk on the road. But sometimes, like when it's too late, I'm listening to lectures, so I'm trying to avoid and like sideways, and they understand what's going on. I try to like interact, right? So that's. But if you're ready for that, there is no problem. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome. So just explain nicely. At time I'm doing my thing. Okay, don't to give deep. So I'm trying to work on myself. So thank you very much. Thank you for understanding. So do not rebuke. The word rebuke should not apply to this lady. So you ask a favor. That's it. You ask a favor. So yeah, not to flirt and not to send these messages.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much, Robert.
You're welcome.
So on this issue, I was wondering. I mean, before I do what Kodav mentioned, I was thinking to double check. This is gonna sound funny, but I am so out of this game of what is flirting, what is not, that I sometimes cannot recognize if the person's being like overly, I don't know,
Friendly.
I don't know what's the word, but anyway.
Friendly.
Yeah. Or it's like flirtatious comments or whatever. I'm not really sure. So would it be okay if I go double check with a woman from my family, like my mother or something like that? Like
she would not understand. You see, if you look at if you live in this culture, you would not understand that. For you, everything is normal. So, for example, there was a guy in my office. Italian guy, right? And he would come to me to ask my advice, Christian guy, and he said, and he would tell her like it was like a prom of her daughter, his daughter, right? And he said he would like going around the office and show a picture, and I told him, he said, okay, you want to see the picture? I said, absolutely not, I don't want to see the picture. And one time he was he wanted to show me the birds, like what is it, like thunderbird, not a thunderbird, whatever bird, like that small bird, whatever nice bird. They come to his backyard, And he said, you want to see the bird? No ladies, no ladies. You want to see the bird? I said, okay, show me the bird. Like he has this huge phone, and he opens he types his what is the ID passcode, opens, and there his daughter half naked. You understand? So whoa. And he started giggling. He did not understand. He said, my wife insisted that she would go there to prom like that. So she was embarrassed. The daughter was embarrassed. She was like, I don't know, 17 years old. But wife insisted. And guess what? Of course, I turned away. Like I said, please stop it. So since then, he said, I remember no picture, but can I describe whatever these birds or whatever? He lives in this rural area, so the animals would come. Okay, so animals I can talk to him. You understand? So for them it's normal. The mother sent to this, and they would go to some hotel and stay in that hotel the whole night, the whole class. You normal? Like what normal mother would allow that and send her daughter like with drunk teenage boys? Understand? So I'm not talking about your mother. Like I'm general, the whole generation. They have no concept whatsoever. But modesty was a propriety. It's like, I mean, I guess all of them were dressed like that, or most of them. But yeah. So you said just ask her not to do it. That's it. Okay.
Thank you very much, Roy.
You're welcome.
So, okay, I think someone's still typing a question.
Okay, so
I'm not sure. Oh yeah. So the question says, is it appropriate to express a face of obvious disgust to these immodest women that have the chutzpah to try and get the wrong attention from complete strangers?
I mean, it's better to try to avoid it. I'm talking to myself now because I said something out loud a few times in the public. My wife was there and she was so angry at me. So I did not so disgusting. Like maybe I was in my headphones and I was trying to avoid something and I could not avoid. And I said, I think the girl understand that it was actually about her. You understand? They were my wife said that you make these faces. I said, I did not, maybe it's from inside. But, I mean, we try not to go to these places. For example, in the summer, we try not to go outside. Let's, as less as possible. So whatever least possible is, so that we go. All right? So, because naked people are everywhere. Doesn't matter. So we try to go off hours, whatever. To the store when not too many people, like Sunday night, for example, there is nobody there, close to the closing of the store. There's nobody there. I mean, like a few people. That's it. Or Monday morning, nobody's shopping Monday morning. That's the best time. Right? So, but she told me that she made I said I don't remember making the faces. I don't control myself, but these things are disgusting to me, like a dead rat, like on the street, it's disgusting to me. So this woman that behaved like this is disgusting to me. Did I say anything? No. But I would say try to control yourself, try to turn around, to turn away, just walk away. And next time, just calculate not to be there. Okay, that's the best thing. Okay.
Thank you very much, Michael.
You're welcome.
I think someone else is typing a question.
Okay, so let's wait.
It was not a question.
Okay, no.
Thank you for your leadership. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right, so let's stop here. So please join us tomorrow, same time, and we're going to continue with our kosher kitchen. Thank you and good night.